I'm Mr. Jefferson.
And I'm Howie.
Why, hello, little Howie.
Hey there, Mr. Jefferson. What you reading?
I'm just doing some light reading and catching up on my favorite subject, the archaic age of ancient Greece.
Now, I know what the ancient Greece is because Grandma takes me to Jimmy the Greek on Tuesdays. But what's the archaic age?
Oh, little Howie. The archaic age period in Greece refers to the years between 750 and 480 BC. Take a look.
Wow.
More particularly from 620 to 480 BC. The age is defined through the development of art at this time, specifically through the style of pottery, art, and sculpture, showing the specific characteristics that would later be developed into the more naturalistic style of the classical period. This was a period of great cultural change and development. Some of the key developments were coinage, temples and sculpture, the revival of Athenian pottery, and the birth of Western philosophy.
Neato! What was so important about the archaic age of ancient Greece?
Well, while all of these cultural developments were important, there's one that really sticks out in my mind. The way that we determine their importance is by looking at their legacy, their economic impact, national identity, and political impact. While coinage, temples and sculpture, and pottery were all important things, I think that the birth of Western philosophy is the most important of them all.
Why do you think that, Mr. Jefferson?
Why, little Howie? Why don't we travel back to the past and see?
Okay.
Whoa! Look, little Howie, here we are at the Aegean Sea.
Here we are! Hey, Nellie, what year are we in? And where did the study go?
We're in the year 540 BC. Oh, and what do you know? Archaic age Greek philosophy shaped modern-day morals, modern science, and mathematics. Here is Thales himself, the father of Western philosophy and the first philosopher in the Greek tradition to tell us his theories.
Rather than turning the supernatural world to explain natural phenomena, I believe that water is the basis of all things.
I am Democritus, a very wise philosopher. I believe that the world is made up of atoms, which are of the same substance but differ in shape and size.
Wow, those are some pretty wise dudes.
Why, yes, little Howie. Thales and Democritus are just two of the many wise philosophers of the archaic age. Let's take a look at the other ones.
Wow. Anaximander, Anaximenes, Heraclitus, Parmenides, Zeno, Leucippus, and Pythagoras.
Thales' legendary contributions to rationally explaining the cosmos inspired and guided later Greek philosophers within the archaic age to prove explanations for natural phenomenons.
My man Democritus created the first theory of materialism, and he was one of the few philosophers who didn't believe in the idea of a guiding force behind everything in the world.
What makes the legacies of the archaic philosophy significant today?
Well, that's a good question, little Howie. Let's think. Without the philosophical theory of materialism from Democritus, our world would not be the same. Do you remember learning about the atom in science class? Democritus helped to rationalize that whole idea.
Wow. How about Thales?
Well, he was one of the first to use the scientific inquiry method. He influenced the whole world by using logic and reason rather than the gods to explain things. Philosophers like Democritus and Thales are the reason why we use scientific inquiry method today. Philosophy can be applied to understand politics, the economy, and the natural and social world.
Wow.
Plus, our philosophies are not only applicable to the archaic age, but they're even applicable to your time.
Yeah, we help to shape modern-day philosophy and science with our innovative attitudes and ideas.
Hey, Mr. Jefferson, I remember you mentioning some guy named Heraclitus earlier. And his name sounded really rad. Who was Heraclitus?
Heraclitus' theory of diversity and disorder is prevalent in today's society as many people turn to religion to prove reasoning for the universe. The birth of Western philosophy also had a socio-economic impact on Greece.
Cool, but Mr. Jefferson, I still don't get it. Why is the birth of Western philosophy so much more important than coinage, temples and sculpture, and the revival of Athenian pottery with respect to legacy?
Wow, little Howie, I'm impressed that you remember all that from the beginning of our chat. Well, philosophy left a greater legacy than pottery, as it gave a focus on the natural figure rather than the ideal one that was so often depicted. The philosopher Pythagoras used math to measure the perfect human form. Without this achievement, the perfect human form would not have been possible in pottery.
Plus, without philosophy, we would never have been able to build temples. Philosophy was the beginnings of math, and without math, there would have been no way to build.
While the legacy that coinage left was extremely important, since philosophy was the beginnings of math, coinage wouldn't exist without it.
But why, Thales?
Hear him out, little Howie.
Well, coinage was the first real idea of the physical money that we have today. This means people were calculating the value of things, which is math.
Wowee, I get it. Philosophy was very important with respect to legacy.
As I mentioned earlier, Western philosophy in the Archaic Age also had a socio-economic impact on ancient Greece. The principles of mathematics discovered by the Greeks are still used today. The Pythagorean theorem, used to design great structures and temples such as the Parthenon in Athens, is still an effective tool in modern architecture. Architecture's impact on the economy was just as significant in ancient times as it is today.
Whoa, awesome sauce!
Now, little Howie, do you remember all of the criteria for determining whether philosophy was the most important cultural development of the Archaic Age?
Well, there was legacy, and then I don't know!
Don't worry if you forgot, little Howie. The 4 criteria were legacy, economic impact, national identity, and political impact. Now it's time for us to talk about philosophy with respect to national identity.
Oh, the success of Greek philosophers such as mine built a strong reputation for the Greeks. Many saw Greece as the cradle of civilization, democracy, philosophy, drama, and naturalistic forms of art.
Didn't the Greeks believe in gods and goddesses like the mighty Zeus, leader of the gods?
Greek philosophy incited the belief in science as opposed to gods. Without Greek philosophy, we would not have explanations for natural phenomena and political ideas such as democracy.
Nifty! Wow, that's cool.
Do you know what the government that we have today, thanks to the ancient Greeks, was called?
Democracy?
Exactly, little Howie, you got it! So, philosophy helped to shape our government because philosophers came up with the laws that we use today in society.
Wow.
Go.
Wow, I can't believe those laws and democracy lasted for such a long time. Those philosophers must have been very smart.
Oh, wow, little Howie. We've had a jam-packed day, but I think it's time for us to head home now.
Aw, but I don't want to leave my pals, Democritus and Thales.
We didn't want to leave you either, but it's time for us to go back to our times now.
Yeah, little dude, the year 340 BC just ain't the same without me.
Say bye, little Howie.
Goodbye, new friends. I hope we meet again.
Bye, little dude.
Little Howie, get on my back. We gotta go back to 2015. Well, it's been a a great day. Thank you for watching Wondering Why with Mr. Jefferson and Little Howie. This has been a great episode about the archaic period in ancient Greece.
And a big thank you goes out to our sponsors and providers. This has been a PBS production.